Alright, so welcome back to another video. Today we'll be taking a look at the new Storm Warning dev server. I guess for the last update of this year, we get another air-focused update because why not have another one? Hopefully next year we do see a couple more additions to tanks though. But anyway, of course, the highlight of this update is the Typhoon, the Eurofighter Typhoon. It's coming to both Germany, Great Britain, and Italy, although the Italian one's basically the same as the British one here. And yeah, it's a really nice plane. Germany, of course, finally gets a competitive top-tier aircraft. It's always nice. Although I think the highlight is more the British one, since I feel like it is a bit better just because it does have access to the IRS-T, which the German one doesn't. Or it's going to be the one I'm going to be taking a look at, because they're all basically the same. They have a couple differences, but they're negligible. Anyway, so in terms of armament, this thing here gets access to 6 Aim-120s and 4 Aim-9Ms. Or actually no, 6 Aim-120s and 2 Aim-9Ms. You can also take 6 9Ms and 4 120s, but you probably shouldn't do that since, you know, the main armament at top tier is going to be your active radar homing missiles, so you might as well just take the standard 6-4 combination like you do on stuff like the F-15 as well. Other than that, though, it's really nice. It's got really fast engine performance. It's also really good at turning, and also has HMD and MAW, so you also get to get warned about any incoming missiles. Right now in the dev server, I can't really get flares to work. I can only get chaff to work. But yeah, it is what it is. So a bit of a test drive here, I guess, in a custom battle. I mean, you can already see how fast it is. I'm trying to lock the Rafale there, and he's on the ground, so that obviously it won't work. However, there's actually 33 here. I'm going to try and revenge kill him by sending a missile his way. And also an F-16, which is spawned here. Unfortunately, my HMD there kind of locks the missile. And yeah, it doesn't really lock the actual person in question. They just pull 17 Gs there though. That's, yeah, definitely pretty interesting. I do have minimum fuel though, so take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to launch another missile here at that J-10 there. And I've already lost control. I mean, I just pulled 13 Gs there. And this is with an expert crew. So yeah, you definitely need to, at the very least, get that to be able to not G out. And we got another 15 Gs there. Very easy. We're just going to quickly pull up here because my flares don't work against these 9Ms because I don't have any. And yeah, there we go. We just dodged them just like that. So yeah, very nice. Gonna quickly go here to try and lock this guy. Unfortunately, I lock the missile with ACM mode. Not exactly too optimal. I'm just going to hide here in the ground, and then I'll try and go re-engage him again by just quickly lobbing a missile upwards, skimming the ground, and then I'll just spam as many missiles I have at him because why not? If I'm going to use them all, I might as well. And there we go, just like that. I miss all my shots, but my missiles do hit, so all is well. Now I'll just go in a straight line and accelerate. You can already see how fast my speed is kind of changing. So yeah, this is going to be definitely a very strong aircraft, and really nice to see actually, especially for Germany, which hasn't had a competitive top tier aircraft for a very long time. Now the second biggest addition to this update is of course the Rafale for the French. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, maybe I didn't. The French can nail me to a piece of baguette or something or whatever. This thing is actually a really cool addition. Right now, it doesn't really seem that finished. It only has access to 6 missiles total. I'm not sure if that's correct. It only has radar missiles right now. It doesn't have any IR missiles. I think BVVD said something about it on stream, how it's not finished yet. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what else gets added, if something does get added. Although I think the main highlight of this thing is actually the bombs, or I'm not sure if they're bombs. They're kind of like very budget KH-38 MTs. And just as you'd think they'd work, you can lock something up with the targeting pod, just like this, press spacebar on them, and it'll start tracking them, just like that. And the way they work is exactly the same as the KH-38s, so they're IR guided, so smoke and stuff will block them. But there we go, we'll just move the laser away, just so you guys don't know that, or don't think that the laser is guiding it, and there we go. We see that it's perfectly tracking this moving BMP here, and destroying them just like that, along with destroying my frames. Guess what this does allow you to do is kind of engage multiple targets at once, just like with the MTs. So there we go, we'll just lock all of these guys up here. and then we can kind of look at them kind of speeding away towards the targets. They're kind of like AGM-123s on the A6 that we have in game right now, but I guess IR guided. Now they do work at longer ranges as well. I haven't really tested how long they work at, but you know, 13 kilometers is pretty decently long. Just like this, we'll just select them just like that. And you can see that I kind of just went in between two tires there. That's not exactly too optimal. So I'm going to aim kind of off axis to them just so that it doesn't lug anyone near them. There we go, just like that. We'll launch all of them just like that. Maybe this last one we'll launch at the warrior right here. And yeah, then we'll just kind of turn away, let them guide themselves. And you can see how they're significantly slower than the KH-38s. So yeah, not exactly going to be too good, especially because if they're that slow, then they're also going to be easier to intercept for the Panzer. But maybe if you spam them all at once, then he won't be able to intercept them either. Now, another plane that's coming this update is the Su-33. Admittedly, this thing isn't really all that special. It does have access to 2 more missile hard points compared to the normal Su-27 here, but it is a bit heavier. And I think it also has a couple more powerful engines, but it really isn't that noticeable. You also have access to a better RWR. However, one major flaw about the Su-33 is that it doesn't have as many flares. You can see it only has 48, while the normal Su-27 has 96. So yeah, it's not exactly too optimal. It's a squadron vehicle, so you don't have to research it anywhere. But yeah, I don't know which one is better. Honestly, I think I might just prefer the normal Su-27 just because it has more countermeasures. But other than that, it is the same plane. I guess another bonus addition coming into this update is the new Admiral Kuznetsov carrier. Maybe I pronounced that correctly. I mean, yeah, it looks cool, but that's about it. I'm not sure if they're actually gonna add it to any maps. Last time they added carriers, they got removed. So yeah, we'll see about that. But I mean, you can do all regular carrier things. You can also take a dip in the water if you want. But yeah, I mean, what more is there really to say about this? It's look very cool, but that's about it. Now, a couple other planes which are coming this update are the new Thai planes in the Japanese subtree located here after the Ki-83, starting off with the F-84 and going all the way up to the Gripen. Now, is there a real reason to go after them? Not particularly. I guess if you do want CAS, the F-16 here is quite good at that. It has access to Mavericks and GPUs and whatnot. Surprisingly enough, doesn't have a thermal pod though, so that's not too great actually. Does the Gripen have access to them? Yes, it does. Okay, so this you can use as CAS, although I think the Gripen is definitely better used as an air superiority fighter. But hey, everyone has their personal preferences. Other than that, though, the planes are basically the same to what we have in game. This thing does have Python 3s, but you're better off using the Aim-9Ms it gets. So yeah, basically just see it as an F-16C to simplify things, with I guess a bit less countermeasures. Alright, well that's been it for the aircraft this update. Now there are a couple ground stuff like the Panzerhaubitze 2000 or whatever it's called exists, but this is definitely more of an air focused update, which is why this video is also more air focused. It would be nice to see more ground stuff. Unfortunately for this year, looks like that won't be the case. Maybe next year we'll get a couple more interesting tank additions. Anyway, let me know if you've enjoyed this video or whatnot. Maybe I'll stream some parts of the Death Driver on the weekend or something, but I might not, depending on how I feel. So yeah, just check the channel videos to see if I'm scheduled to stream or whatnot. Anyway, that does it for me today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!